a new book that has just been released. The Blue Zones by Dan Bugner. Very quick read, very easy read. He talks about the different areas in the world that have the most centurions in them. So, if you look to the left on the slide, longevity locations in blue zones, that's what they call those with the longest longevity. For some reason they've been called the blue zone. Costa Rica, Japan, Okinawa, which we've known for a long time, Sardinia, and Loma Linda, California. We made it! Somewhere in the United States, we've got something good for us. So what they did in this book is they went around and they talked to each culture. And they interviewed the centurions, and they interviewed the elders, and they went through and they looked at their lifestyle and found certain things that all correlated in each society. And they found that there's 9 different rules here, and sorry, we have them numbered a little chaotic, but if you look at those, that really is 9. So, first one is the 80% rule. They always have a rule that they're only going to eat till they're 80% full. We tend to shovel it in as fast as we can until we're overfull. So, this is one of their keys. But also, looking down the line, you're going to see that they have a lot more vegetables in their diet and less protein. There is on this, they have a website called thebluezones.com, and you can take a quiz after you log in and sign up, and it can tell you how old you are, longevity-wise, of how old you'll live, you know, what your risk factors are, and then it'll go in and give you a vitality support, and it'll tell you which one of these 9 things you can start to change. And it was really cool, because looking at this, the more veggies, less proteins, and processed foods, you know, they really don't give you, you know, how many veggies that they use a day. But they hit every color on the color wheel, and that was really important for them. They also had red wine, consistency and moderation. Every culture had a glass of red wine at night. 1 glass. Deep red. Plan to vida. Know your purpose in life. This one is so underestimated in every population. Every person you talk to, I feel so bad when I talk to somebody who tells me they hate their job. Or they hate what they do. And they don't like where they live. Because my heart goes out to them. I love what I do. I love where I live. I have a wonderful social network. I have a wonderful church that I belong to, and I feel like another part of my family's there. I live alone. So when I eat every night, I eat by myself. So I make it a priority, at least 1 night a week, to go eat with somebody else. Many times it's at his house. Other times it's with my other friends. And we try to get together and just have family time, because I don't get that. My family lives in Florida. I don't have anybody around to really hang out with that I can consider family, so I've made all of my friend networks as family. So this is one where, you know, I talk to my patients, and I've seen this one make a power of healing more than anything else. I've had patients tell me that they hate their job and they're finally going out to look for a new one. And mind you, obviously these are harder times than what it has been, but I had a young lady switch her job 6 months ago. And within a month, her BIA numbers went through the roof. She changed dramatically just because of the situation and the surroundings that she lives in every day for 8 to 10 hours.
Maybe
That
explain
alone.
BIA.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Many of you don't know what a BIA is. It's a bioimpedance analysis. It's what we use to measure body fat and muscle composition. So we look at your body composition in general, looks at how fast you metabolize, where your water is placed in your body, your hydration level, whether you tend to be more inflamed or you're holding your water more inside the cells, so you're allowing your cells to communicate and be healthy. That's one of the most powerful tools that we use in the office to see how a patient is doing after they tell us, hey, I'm feeling great. Because it can tell us where's your body at in the next stage of healing. So her BIA numbers, she jumped 3% on muscle mass, dropped 4 on fat, and just overall her status when she walked in, she was proud, she was happy, and she was giggly. And to me that means I found a new person along the path of life that is going to make it even farther than when she first started. Beliefs was another huge one. Spiritual or religious participation. Whether this was going to church or, devotions at night, this is one of their strongest things that keeps them around. I read an article the other day that says people that go to church live on average 7 years longer than those who have no religious affliction. Well, that was wonderful because I'm sorry. Affiliation. Thank you. Affiliation. Will that work better? Oh boy. Don't worry. But I thought that was really great because, I see friends and family, and the funniest thing is, I work with a 4-H group, and I see kids grow up, and the kids that go along with their families to church, they'll first go off to college, and they really leave the church because they're feeling out their roots, they're moving around, and then they always come back. And it's wonderful to see all these different things because I know that they're always going to come back and see where they want to be in life. Downshift. I think this one's huge. Work less. We don't do that here. Slow down, rest, and take vacations. Americans are the least likely to take vacations. Do you know how many days a year that we take? Do you remember?
Our average work week is between 43 and 45 hours, so compare that to the Dutch statistic of 32. And we take on average 6 days off besides the normal holidays like Christmas. So 6 additional days. Most of us get more than that, but we choose not to. Pathetic. Yeah, it's you don't have to be like the Dutchman either and work just 32 hours. You don't have to do that. But what is important is to take frequent breaks. It's worth so much more than long vacations. Research has shown that if you take on average a long weekend every 6 weeks, so we're talking say Friday, so you have an extra long weekend, that is much more beneficial than long vacations are. It doesn't mean you shouldn't take long vacations. If you can do it, great. But every 6 weeks, a Friday off gives you by far the most health benefits. And that is also partially, it's less stress-inducing because these little vacations, while you're not packing and you have kids, getting on the bed and everybody's screaming, and you don't have any of that. And you can tell I have 5 kids. But what's going on with the long weekend is you tend to get things done because you don't have time to go to Florida or this or that. So that shed, the mess in the shed that's been bothering you, you get it cleaned up. It's one less thing on your mind, less stress, and all these little things you keep up with in life instead of accumulating them. So it's really important. But I personally think it's also very important to do that within a day. And you have to go with your personality. Everybody's personality is really different. Some people need to be very steady, plodding along, getting things done, and others are just into throw me into the maelstrom, and I love it. I'm one of those. But it doesn't mean that you stay in that maelstrom of activity forever. It's a little like white water rafting if you have that personality. White water rafting is an absolute blast. You go through these rapids and you just hang on, and then all of a sudden you come into the calm eddy again. It's kind of anticipating, and there it hits again. And that's, if you have a hyper personality, that's how it should be within your day. Yeah. So start your day with quiet contemplation, planning, prayer, reading the Bible. Please pay attention to what you're eating. Okay, that's really, really important because there's so much mindless eating out there. Sometime I want you to take a raisin, spend 15 minutes eating it. I'm serious. I want you to take that raisin and just look at it, feel the texture. Yeah, just do it to your ears. Texture. That's weird. Where did that sound come from? Where does this raisin come from? Smell it. Yeah? Just look at it again, interesting texture, hold it up to the light. Put it in your mouth. Don't bite down on it. Just move it around with your tongue and see what it feels like texture-wise. That one raisin.